Alright guys, back again, and I went ahead and ordered a soldering station, and I went with the Aoyue, I don't know how you say it, Aoyue. Yes, it is made in China. However, this soldering station, this branding, however, is a very well-known brand. They've gotten a lot of positive feedback, and they actually have a lot of support through their distributor, which is SRA Soldering Company. They're the ones that, well, they're selling this, and they give a lot of support online for this. You can get replacement parts. If you have any issues, you can contact SRA online, and they will take care of you. So that is the main reason I went with this soldering station. It's a 60 watt. It is a 120 volt. I made double, triple checked, made sure it's a 120 volt. You know, it does have, as you'll see, dual temperature design. You know, you turn it to get your variable temperature. So yeah, we're gonna unbox this soldering station to see what comes in this kit. Extremely affordable, guys. This is the cheapest soldering station I've seen that actually is worth anything. Actually, you know, has got good reviews. So I was able to get this for $29.99 on eBay, and I'll put a link down in the description for this. That is just insane, guys, to get a whole soldering station, you know, with the holder and the cleaner station for the sponge, with the spool holder as well. That is just an incredible deal, guys. So yeah, this is a very well-known brand name here. So I'm expecting big things for this soldering iron. So let's go ahead and get this thing unboxed. I will tell you that I already have opened the product, and I did open it up, check everything out, and did a little photo shoot. Got a couple pictures that will flash up on the screen for you. So as you can see, it's a very nice looking soldering station. Definitely doesn't look cheap, doesn't feel cheap. So I tried to put it back together pretty much the way I found it. That way you can have an idea of what you're gonna get. So this is the packaging here. Looks very nice, very professional. They've got their website on here where you can learn more about this product. But they tell you that the spool holder is included. There's your power input right there, 110 to 130 volt. They have your spring type soldering iron holder. So very nice packaging, and I have all the branding on there. So it is a very nice branding. Yeah, I don't want to fool around anymore, guys. I need to get, you know, I need to get a good solder for this soldering station for this build. And after the first failed attempt, I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be going through any more of that. So let's go ahead and open this baby up. And the presentation is just immaculate. I mean, look at that. Everything is nice and neat. It actually looked better than this before I opened it. They had it in here just laid out extremely well. You know, this wasn't sticking out. It was flush in there, and everything just looks professional. You know, this is a very nice kit. So right here you'll see this is the spool holder for your solder. So we'll set that off to the side. And here's the iron here. And you can actually see they actually give you, which is really nice, put this off to the side, they actually give you a nice protective cover for the iron. So that's a nice bonus there. There's the tip on there. You see that's a really good, if I can get the focus, trying to get it to focus here. That's a really nice all-around good tip right there. There, I almost had it. There we go. Yeah, there you go. You can see that's a nice all-around tip. It's a good size. You should be able to do a wide variety of applications with that tip. Go ahead and put the cover back on. Alright, moving on in through the box, we have our metal soldering iron holder. So it feels nice and heavy. It doesn't feel cheap or chintzy. It feels very nice, actually. So that's going to be a nice little addition there. Set that off to the side. And let's go out and pull out this station. Oh, wow. And to be honest with you guys, for a station, it's really not that big. I mean, it doesn't take up. And there's our plug right there, guys. We have nailed it. 110 volt USA with a ground. We shouldn't have any problems getting this thing up to temperature. We hope not, anyway. So yeah, here's the station here. And you can see you got your variable knob. And here we have our cleaning tray, which like I said, I've already opened this. But I wanted to kind of let you see. You've got your two screws here with little lock nuts here that are gonna secure this down to the station. So that's nice. Put that off to the side. Get your nice little, you know, flimsy little sponge, but hey, you know what? Just it'll work. You know, it came with the kit. Nice little tray there for your excess soldering mess. So that's really nice. I'm really digging this station so far. The way it looks, the fact it doesn't take up a ton of room. And here is the actual station here. You can see it is a 110 volt. This is the Aoyue 469. And we got some more branding here. It is made in China, but there's a warranty seal, so don't want to open this up because that's gonna void your warranty. So if you have a problem with it, get in contact with SRA Solder or Aoyue, I don't know how you say it, but anyway, get a hold of one of them, and I'm sure they can give you your warranty information. Here's our power switch here on the back. Now I believe I have to find out, but it did say on the box that this does have a heating LED indicator light, which I believe is right here up top. But we'll find out when we get it plugged in and give her a test. So let's move the station off to the sides. Very nice. Let me go ahead and see what else is in this box. So right here you get your instruction manual here in English. Thank you for purchasing, and this has got everything it comes with, and it tells you about the product. So very nice, very detailed pictures. Tells you how to put it together, which we'll do here in a little bit. Tells you the specs on the heater. So it goes from 300 degrees Celsius up to 480 degrees Celsius, and it is a 60 watt, so that's good. Everything else looks good there. So nice instruction manual. I love it when manufacturers of their products include instruction manuals. Just makes it more clear, and makes it like if you ever have an issue, you can go to this manual and not have to call customer service. So I like that. Okay, here we go. And like I said, SRA Solder, they are the distributors of this product. And you can see right here, thank you for your purchase. And it says that the SRA soldering products will handle the warranty claims from 31 days to 1 year after purchase date. So that's great. They're backing up the products. They're saying that they believe in what they're selling. I like that. And Joshua Bardwell actually had a soldering expert in his latest soldering video, and he actually talked to someone who, I don't know if he works for SRA, but he definitely highly recommended SRA soldering products, and the Aoyue, or I'm going to get it right one of these times, Aoyue soldering equipment. You know, and they gave away a $80 soldering station, and that was the same brand as what this is, and they highly recommended their products. And as you can see, they back up their products, so if you have an issue, it's covered. You got warranty right here. You have all their contact information, phone number, email, address, website. This is nice to see. This for $29, you're getting this backed up, so definitely like that. So what I like to do now is go ahead and assemble the station and get it all put together. And through the power of our editing, I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me put it all together. They come with instructions. It's quite simple. Just about anybody with any skill level can do it. So we're going to go ahead and get this put together, and when we come back, we're going to go ahead and look at it all together. So get ready for the complete station now. Boom! There we go, guys. Got it all put together here. Very simple. 2 screws go right on the back here, and there's 2 square little lock nuts that go inside of the actual housing. It's really a 2-minute job, guys, if that. So yeah, it looks really nice. Got our soldering iron holder here, so we can put that in there. It looks really secure. Looks great, actually. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this iron here. So, you know, first glance, it looks really nice. You got the branding here. It's got a nice rubber handle here for getting in there and getting those solder joints. And it feels really nice rubber. The tip, like I showed you before, it is interchangeable, and I believe it takes just like the standard tips, like most of them take. Most of the standard soldering irons. So basically, you just unscrew this part here, and this heat shield slides off, just like so. And there's our heat shield there. And then there's the tip right there. There's a ceramic heat part. And you can see the tip has actually the branding on it as well. It says right there Aoyue 1B. So I'm guessing that's like the tip size, which looks really nice, actually. It looks really about the size that I would be using anyway. So that's really nice. Super easy to change, and there's your ceramic part, which if that ever goes bad, you can get replacements of those as well. So we're going to go ahead and slide this back on. But super easy to change, super easy to take on and off, so that's good. And there's a wide variety of different tips you can get on the website. And for $29.99, you have to understand that it's not going to come with a whole bunch of extra tips. I mean, you're getting a deal as it is. So, you know, and the tips that I actually have in my other soldering iron kit, the one that the one that didn't work so well, those tips might fit on here. I'll have to check and see, but those tips may very well fit on here. I mean, it's just you know, the industry standard as far as how they fit on here. So they may very well fit on here, and I may be able to use those tips. And you know, the other soldering iron, guys, I really, you know, I can't complain too much. I mean, you know, for $14 and some change, you know, I got the whole kit that came with, you know, it came with solder, it came with the tweezers, it came with the solder sucker, it came with the sponge, and it came with a little holder. I mean, really, if you take the soldering iron out of it, you know, and it came with all those tips as well. So like I said, I still have all those parts that I can use and use for different things. So I'm not upset about that. But this is going to be a good entry level to, you know, medium range soldering. Someone who's just getting into it, and also someone who's trying to step up from traditional solder guns. I believe this solder station is exactly what I'm looking for. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get the table all cleaned up here, and we're going to go ahead and do some practice soldering once again, and hopefully this time we'll at least be able to make some shiny joints. So we'll see you guys in just a second. Got the soldering station all hooked up, plugged in, and once you turn the power button on over here, you'll see that light flashing, indicating that the iron is on and it is heating up. So that is awesome. So we do have indicator light letting us know that the iron is on. Just got to wait for it to get up to temp, and we'll start doing some practice soldering. Soldering iron is warming up. I don't think it's going to take too awful long. The only complaint that I have about the soldering station, oh yeah, she's warming up good now. The only complaint that I have about the soldering station itself, I wish the power cord was a little bit longer, but other than that, I really don't have any complaints. I'm not going to use the wheel for the time being. I'm just going to go ahead and hold the solder. Just keep in mind though, you know, when working with solder that has lead in it, always wash your hands really good after using it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and try to tin the iron here. And I'll try to get this on camera so you can see it. But I love that the cord is actually long on the actual iron. So let's go ahead and 10. Oh yeah, look at that. Instant. You see that? That's how it should be. See that? It just melted right on there. That's good. Get a nice little tin on there. That's good. So that was almost instant that it melted on there, unlike the other one. I've got it turned up to 4. Let's crank it up to about 5. Since these pads are kind of large, they're going to be demanding. They're going to be demanding some heat. So I've got a brand new board here. They're super cheap, so I went ahead and just got another board, and we're going to go ahead and heat this up. And these pads, like I said, are rather large. Oh wow, you see that? I mean, it's already, look at that, a lot better, much better. So obviously not the prettiest looking joint, but it's definitely doing a way better job than the other iron. And we're going to compare the boards here. I'm just going to crank it up to about 6 because these pads are very large and they need a lot of heat. Let me get some more tin on there. These pads need a lot of heat to get them hot. The idea is to get the pad hot enough to where the solder, the pad will actually melt solder. And that's what we're trying to do. So get a little bit more solder here. And this is just practice. Oh yeah, see that? That's a lot better. I mean, I have a lot to learn as far as my solder joints go, but that definitely looks a lot better than the other one. So that's good. Let's try right here on this smaller pad. Go ahead and heat this up. Oh my gosh, look at that. Did you see that? That was a lot better. That gave us a nice shiny joint there. That's what we're looking for. That's what we need to see. So once again, we're going to heat this pad up. Look at that. That's exactly what we're looking for. This iron is great. It is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Let's go ahead and tin this tip a little bit. But that's what we're looking for, guys. A nice round solder joint there. That was perfect. Boom. See that? Starting to get the hang of this. So it's almost like you feed the solder into the iron, but you have to feed it kind of quick to get the solder to melt all the way in the pad. Boom, just like that. See that? And now it's cooled off. So I definitely see why a lot of people are quick when they're on these pads. So let's tin our tip a little bit there. Get some tin. And boom. See that? That's what we're looking for. So that's a good temperature. These solder joints don't look bad. I mean, for, you know, my first solder joints with a real iron, they don't look that bad. So once again, we're going to heat this up. Feed our solder in. Boom. Now see, I made a little bit of a mess there. I splattered some of that flux on the board, see. But this heats it up, I mean, instantly. So that's good. Alright, we'll put my iron down for just a second here. And actually, I'm going to tin my tip a little bit more. Set this down for a minute. So this is working really well, guys. This iron is going to be able to handle the task. What I want to do is get some more of this in focus for you. There we go. And I want to hit a couple more of these pads while the iron's still hot. So the iron's still nice and hot here. Let's get a little bit of tin on there. So let's hit this pad right here. You can see the solder on the tip just came right off. Boom, see? I mean that's a lot better. I mean I still have a lot more practice, but it's definitely getting better is what I'm saying. So that's good. Now let's go ahead and heat this up here. Feed that in there. There we go. And I could probably use a little bit more solder right down here at the bottom. So just gonna feed. Whoops. There we go. Made a little bit of a mess there. Guys, this is working extremely a lot better than the old one. That's for sure. So let's go ahead and heat this up again. And look how it just takes it. Boom. See that? You have to feed it rather quickly. That's the best way I can describe it. You have to kind of feed the solder in very, very quickly in order to get it to take. And some of these joints are kind of shiny and some of them aren't. So I gotta wash my tip and make sure that the tip has a nice layer on here. But let's try to tackle these right here. Can be a little bit of a pain in the rear end. There we go. Trying to tackle this. And it just swallows this solder. But I can definitely see why you need to get in and out. It melts the solder so fast. Let's see, yeah, that's not bad, see? And if you had your XT60 in there, you could fill the holes in. So not bad at all. See, it's like the faster you get in and out, the better. You get a nice shiny joint. Now let's try to tin some wire. So we're gonna go ahead and tin our tip there. This is working so much better. I'm just so impressed right now at this iron. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Let me set my iron down. This is where the helping hands really shines, because you can sit here and you can get your clip to hold this wire so you can get it tinned. That's why these helping hands are really, really helpful. Yeah, this is working so much better. We just have to make sure we keep watching our tip, because we don't want our tip to oxidize. So we're going to put some fresh solder on there. And if you can see right here, there we go. See, we're tinning these wires right up. There we go. So we're heating the wire and letting the solder just melt right to it. So now we got the wire tinned. Okay. So now what we can do, oh, and just by the way, when you're using these alligator clips, be careful when you're using on wire, because it actually will, if this will focus, it will come through and break the sheathing. So get yourself, a piece of a tubing or something to put on these alligator clips to kind of soften the clamp. But there you go, guys. I got the wire tinned, and obviously, it's not the best looking tin job, but I think it'll do for our purposes. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and attempt to heat this wire up. Alright, so that did join, but it looks awful. So obviously, you know, I got some practice that I need to do. So let me clean some of this solder off. Yeah, obviously I need some more practice, but yeah, that's all part of it. And yeah, so we're gonna try to keep getting better. Keep getting better and just trying. So yeah, this is definitely melting the solder way better than the other. So let's see if we can tin this. So it's connecting the wires is actually kind of difficult actually. You really have to get it nice and hot. Okay, my tip is getting oxidized. You see that? So it's starting to get bad. So what we need to do is clean off our tip. Get that tip cleaned off. And get some fresh solder on there. Yeah, once it stops transferring heat, that's not a good thing. It needs to be constantly transferring heat. Boom. Whoop. There went our solder joint, slid right off. Yeah, so this is, I mean, soldering is not easy, guys. I mean, it's not easy. Something I'm gonna have to keep continuing to practice with. I'm gonna turn this down some. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. But we're gonna do a little comparison here, and so you can kind of see. But this is why we're practicing, guys, to get better. So the more we solder, the better we're gonna get. But see, I do have some nice looking joints there. That one doesn't look bad at all right there. See, that's a nice round joint there. Not bad. That joint there looks pretty good. That one doesn't look good. That one looks kind of butchered. But we got our wire on there, and it's on there. It looks pretty awful, but it's on there. But I can see, you know, the more I do, the better I'll get. Now let's look at this first board. And wow, what a big difference. Like, I even ended up adding too much heat to the board, and it actually discolored the board on the first go around. But this is a good practice. You know, it's a good way to continue to practice, to try to get better before we actually start our build. So yeah, just want to show you guys that, make sure that our soldering iron was working, and it definitely is. So yeah, I'm going to continue to keep practicing. I'm going to clean all this solder off. Go ahead and use my fancy solder sucker and clean all this off, and then, you know, go ahead and do it again and again, and do however long it takes to get my technique to where I can get some really clean looking solder joints, because I really did have some good joints there. I wanted to show you here, I really starting to get the hang of this. You see I got some nice solder joints there. You see the flux there on the board, and you don't have to clean it off, is what I've been told, but yeah, it would look a lot neater to just kind of clean it off with some regular rubbing alcohol. But I'm definitely getting the hang of it. You can see right here I made a little circle there, and I mean, it looks really good. I'm actually starting to get a little more confident in my skills as far as soldering. So we're going to practice, you know, a lot more for sure before we start working on the build. But I feel like if I can get good solder joints like these, we can definitely start building. So just want to share that with you. Have a little bit of runoff right there, so you definitely wouldn't want any of that. That could create a short. But that's why we practice, guys. You know, this is the best way I feel to get into this, is just practice, practice, practice. And you can see from my first go around, you know, I had some nice joints there, some nice shiny joints, but there's also some ones that don't look so hot. You know, right there got some messed up looking joints. But right here, these look really nice. They got a nice shine to them. And I found that turning up the heat a little bit more to around 6 was really giving me good results. The solder was melting so nice. It was just melting right on the pad. I was able to get in and out, be nice and quick with my soldering. So definitely learned a lot. I'm going to continue to keep practicing, but it's actually starting to become very enjoyable now that I actually have a decent iron. So yeah, I would give this iron a 10 out of 10, guys, just because, you know, the value for what you're getting for the money. It's super clean. It's easy to work with, easy to clean, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll keep you updated as far as the build is concerned. Till my next one, E-Drone out.